Welcome to the most outrageous court in America. And here is the court's adorable judge, Chuck Barris.
Thank you, and welcome to Courtroom Follies. The good news is Hitler has been found and will be tried for all his crimes against humanity. The bad news, he's going to be tried here in Los Angeles. We'll be right back with our first dispute right after this message. All right. Welcome back to Courtroom Follies. Before we get started, let's meet our jury. Our first juror is the only Harvard graduate to ever appear on 88 episodes of The Gong Show. Please give a warm welcome to Pat McCormick. Thank you. Our next juror just received her second Grammy nomination for her latest comedy CD, In Goddess We Trust. Here's Judy Tenuta. Third juror is the star of her own popular sitcom, Thea. Let's welcome Thea Vidal. Now, jury, this case is worth $2,300 in damages. Bailiff, what's the argument?
Lombardi versus Biard. This dispute involves one very disappointed young lady, Lisa Marie Lombardi, and one very angry, very rich sugar daddy, Richard Biard. Your Honor, we call this case, everyone with a $23,000 mink coat take one step forward. Not so fast, Miss Lombardi.
All right, not so fast, Miss Lombardi. All right, Miss Lombardi, you tell us what your story is.
Okay, Your Honor, 2 years ago, I was dating Richard, and we were out on a date, and he said I could use his credit card anytime I wanted to buy anything that I wanted to. And so I took him up on that, and I took his Bullock's credit card, and I went to Bullock's, and I saw this beautiful mink coat, and I bought it, and it's beautiful, and it's about $23,000 and some change.
Was that the present you had in mind?
No.
Okay, continue, Miss Lombardi.
Okay, and so then 2 weeks later, we broke up, and I
wonder why. Go ahead.
I was out on a date with another guy and some friends, and we were coming out of Spagas, and Richard would stalk me after.
Richard?
Yeah.
Kindly-looking Richard?
He would. And all of a sudden, I see him jump out from the bushes and rip.
Richard?
Yes, Richard.
No.
And he ripped off my fur coat.
Ripped it off?
Ripped it off. And in the process, he ripped off my spaghetti strap dress. Well, just one strap.
Do you have this dress by chance so we can see?
Absolutely.
That's the actual dress?
This is the actual dress.
That's the actual strap.
Yeah.
The ripped strap. You're a tiger, Richard.
Sometimes.
You never know it by that little white hair. But go ahead, Lisa.
So I'm suing him for the minx coat.
The minx coat.
I want him to make a public apology.
So you want to keep the mink coat, Lisa?
Oh, yes, I do.
And you want an apology to boot?
I deserve one.
I see. Okay, Richard, you tell us how you got yourself in this pickle.
Very simple. I was delighted to be with somebody pretty and handsome and sexy and young. And I wanted to have a nice gift of some kind, and so I gave her my credit card to buy something small, like a sweater or a dress or, like that.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what she had done until the bill came from the department store, and it was $23,000.
Didn't she wear the coat before?
Plus tax. I never saw it. No, I didn't realize. I had no idea.
I mean, did you see the coat?
I collapsed. What?
You collapsed.
Right on the floor.
It came as a shock.
Totally.
So then what happened?
And then a friend of mine, after we broke up, told me that he had seen her at Spago's and that she had this coat on, and this was the coat. And so I went up there and I got the coat back and took it back to the department store and got the $23,000 back and saved my life.
Well, would you consider yourself would you consider yourself a stalker?
No, sir. No.
How about a rip dresser offer?
That was accidental.
How do you explain
Just,
that?
it just caught on the coat.
When you were
It just-
gently lifting her coat off.
Very gently.
I got you. Okay, we've heard from Lisa Marie Lombardi, her coat, and Richard Biard. Now we're going to hear from their attorneys. Let's hear for Lisa's attorney here, Steve Marmel.
So let's start. What is this guy, 50, 100? Look at her. She's beautiful, she's in her prime, she's gorgeous. Perhaps he could have gotten off his lazy rich butt and bought the gift himself. That's how people who care about people do it. But no, he was using his money to get hot young women, and I respect that. But it's just as bad as Michael Jackson building an amusement park in his backyard to meet small boys, ladies and gentlemen.
Order.
I'm sorry, allegedly.
Can I get a cheeseburger?
No, that's not that order. Just do your stenographer.
Because you bought her a fur, you owned her? That's solicitation, and Charlie Sheen taught us that it costs more than $23,000 to do that. If you ask me, he got the better part of the deal. Sure, she bought a mink, and worse, she paid retail. But he got to hang with a young woman in the prime of her life, and she had sex with a guy whose skin must be so wrinkly it must have been like nailing a Lhasa Apso, ladies and gentlemen. She deserves an apology, and she deserves her fur back. Vote no against the subjugation of women via money, and back my client.
All right, that's attorney Marmel. And now for Richard Biard, here comes attorney Max Alexander.
How you doing, Your Holiness? How are you? So, you give her the credit card, which is, you know, never give a woman a credit card. My wife lost her credit cards. I haven't reported it because the thieves are spending less than she is. So it's easy. So you buy a mink coat. A mink coat. My wife wanted a mink coat, and they are very expensive. She wanted a mink coat. I wanted a car. So we compromised. We got the coat, and we keep it in the garage. It's very nice. They're actually making a mink coat now out of a gorilla fur. Yeah, the jacket's okay, but the sleeves are real long. It's really interesting. In conclusion, I implore the jury to find my client innocent because he gave the credit card to the woman, which is insanity. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you very much, Counselor. We've heard from all the malcontents and their counselors, and we'll be back to hear the jury's verdict right after this message. Welcome back to Courtroom Follies. The jury has reached its verdict, so let's find out what it is. Juror number 3, Thea Vidal.
Well, I'm a woman who has been around the block a few times, Chucky, as you will know. And I'm not no cheap date myself. But, Daddy, if you was giving $23,000 out, you could have came to Mama. Come to Mama, Daddy. Hey! I'll give you something to talk about. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna side with Richard, because homegirl thinks she's slick. You knew when he gave you that card, you didn't have no business buying no $23,000 worth of nothing. And furthermore, that dress ain't that big. I can use it for a leg warmer. I ain't lying, I'm siding with Richard.
There's a vote for Richard. Now let's go right down to Pat McCormick. Pat?
Well, this is about credit cards and money. We make mistakes. I lent my credit card to Willie Nelson. All in all, I'm going to sympathize with Lisa Maria.
Okay, one for Richard and one for Lisa Maria, $2,300 in damages. It's in your hands, Judy Tenuta.
Lisa Marie? You knew as soon as you got your hands on your that credit card, you were gonna break up with him, didn't you?
Say that,
yes,
girl.
you did. You got that fur coat and you go, oh, next, and then. Okay, I want to tell you something, but Richard, honey, didn't you see this little Heidi Fleischwater slut coming? I mean, look at her!
And verdict is for Richard. Richard wins $2,300. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Lisa Marie. We'll be back with more Courtroom Follies right after this message. Do it, Pete. Welcome back to Courtroom Follies. Before we get started, let's meet our jury. Our first juror is an attorney and a 3-time Emmy nominee for her TV commentaries, Ms. Gloria Allred. Our second juror, he's the first brother of the President of the United States, Roger Clinton. Hi, Roger. And finally, we'd like to thank our third juror for taking the time off his busy courtroom schedule to be with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the judge. Hi, Judge. Jury, this case is worth $900 in damages. 900, Judge. Bailiff, why don't you tell us what this case is about?
Keith Brewer has a beef with his identical brother, Derek. Apparently, Derek dated Keith's girlfriend and fooled her into thinking he was Keith.
No.
And for this, Derek got a night of bliss and a day at the Follies. Your Honor, we call this case, and I agree, double your pleasure.
Control yourself, bailiff. All right. Keith, tell us all what happened.
He fraudulently took my place on a date.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, he stole my girlfriend, Jennifer.
Was she a cute girlfriend?
She was beautiful.
No.
Yeah, and I've dated her for about a year, and it's getting pretty serious, you know, and he called her up one night, took her out, didn't tell her that he was any name, actually. She obviously thought it was me, and the thing that hurts the most is at the end of the date, he gave her a nice long kiss on the lips.
No, just a second. We read that back about what he gave her at the end of the date.
Yeah.
Read that back to me right away. I want to make sure I understood that.
A nice long kiss on the lips.
Oh, that's better. That's right. It's shorter that way. Thank you. Go ahead.
So,
Nice long kiss on the lips.
now I just, every time I'm with her, it's not the same anymore. I just keep on thinking about him with her, and the thought just makes me cringe.
Oh, cringe. Cringe. Derek, how could you do that? And you better make this good.
I never told her that I was Keith. I just didn't tell her that I wasn't.
Ah.
Okay? So, anyways, we go out, we have a couple good drinks, you know, we have a nice time, and I take her home, I just give her a little kiss, a little peck, and that was the end of it. I mean, if I was, you know, the kind of guy that
he thinks you are.
Yeah, that he thinks I am. You know, I could have, you know, had a nice, very, very nice night, but I wasn't. I was nice. I gave her a nice little kiss. So then, here he is. He's going to my dad, and I get grounded. I have to do chores for a week. And the waves were the best for a whole week.
No,
I missed the waves for a week.
You missed the what? What did you miss?
I missed waves for a week. The perfect
The waves, the
offshore
perfect
and everything.
waves. And that's because your brother tattletaled on you?
Yeah, he went to my dad and told him that I intentionally stole his girl, and I didn't.
Let's find out what the counselors have to say. Let's find out what the counselor for Keith Brewer says. Here is Murray J. Langston.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, jury members. How you doing? Chucky, baby, buy your wife something nice.
Now, wait, take this back.
Yeah, I tell you, I just flew in from Chicago. Boy, it was a cold air. It was cold. I actually saw a lawyer with his hands in his own pockets. Yeah, I can't stay. Well, excuse me.
Now, come on now, counselor.
I can't stay very late. I got a babysitter waiting. Yeah. I don't have any kids, but where else can you find a good-looking young girl for $3 an hour?
Counselor.
Because my boy Keith now, he's smart. He's a smart kid. The other day, he went swimming in the ocean, and he wore a T-shirt that said, O.J. Simpson is completely innocent. Because he figured even a shark wouldn't swallow that.
stop scratching yourself now. Continue with the case.
So, your judgeship, now look, he didn't want to look like his brother, did you? You didn't want to look like him, but, you know, as my godfather used to say, so what if you can't choose your face, you can pick your nose. And he thought he was your friend. He isn't your friend, and as I say, you can pick your nose and you can pick your friend, but you can't wipe your friend on the sofa. So I want you to find him innocent or else. You hear me?
right.
Or else.
Okay,
Or
all right,
else.
all right. All right. Okay, now we've heard from Murray J. Langston, who was the counselor for Keith Brewer. Now we'll have Derek Brewer's counselor, his twin brother, Murray K. Langston.
Thank you, Judgy.
All
Let
right,
me take a
counselor.
nap in your judge's chambers.
Okay.
Come on, let's have fun. Why don't we all just take our clothes off and sing Who Can I Turn To? Oh, I'm here to defend my client, Derek.
Let's go, counselor.
First of all, he did not come on to that woman of his. The truth is, she came on. Didn't she came on? I knew that because he is one sexy dude, isn't he? The truth is, everybody makes mistakes. As my mother used to say, falling on your face is still moving forward. And I say, never hit a man when he's down, kiss him. So find him innocent, innocent, innocent. Please, please. Bye-bye.
Well, we've heard from all the malcontents and we've heard from their counselors. Now all that's left to hear is the jury's verdict. We'll be back to hear that verdict and who wins that $900 right after this message. Welcome back to Courtroom Follies. The jury has reached its verdict, so let's find out what it is. I can't wait. Gloria?
Well, we've all heard the expression, double your pleasure, double your fun. In this case, Derek doubled his fun at the expense of his brother, Keith. And I think that that's wrong. He knew that Jennifer didn't know that he wasn't Keith. He kissed her anyway, and I say, kiss off, Derek, on your claim for damages. I award it to Keith.
All right. One vote for Keith. One vote for Keith. Judge, what do you say?
I'm going to have to stay with Derek on this one.
You are?
Yeah.
How do you like that? A vote for Derek.
Mistaken identity wasn't his fault.
No kidding. It's one each. All right, Roger Clinton, you're going to have to break the tie.
I tell you what, this is taking me back, Chuck. This is taking me back a long way. Because I heard when I was a little boy, I understand, Derek, you're not your brother's keeper, but you are not your brother's girlfriend's keeper either. Okay? Now, and that bit you said, the little kiss was okay, but the little peck, that's a personal problem, and that's too far. I rule in favor of Keith.
All right, Keith, you're our winner. You are winner, and you get $900. Thank you for coming, sir. We'll be back with more Courtroom Follies right after this message. All right. Well, that's it for the most intellectual and politically correct courtroom show on television. I'd like to thank our court bailiff, Irina Medavoy. I'd like to thank our court reporter, Penny Lynn, and the court twins, Renee and Rosie Tennyson, and our little frog, Keith Mercurio, and of course, our court dog. Just remember, the only reason to obey the law is to avoid lawyers. I'll be seeing you. Let's do a kiss. Mwah.
We call this case the case of the booby trap bra.
I was hired by Gigi to model some lingerie. Well, when I got there, I found out that it was this leather bustier with lights all over it. When I saw it, it looked pretty dangerous to me. And I put it on. The minute that they turned it on, I started feeling these shocks all over.
Oh. Shocks all over where?
All over my boobs.
Your boots?
Boobs.
Boobs, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
And it started smoking. My boobs were on fire.
It was very exaggerated. I mean, this is boob smoking. I mean,
Particularly in a non-smoking area. How big is your dog?
Big.
Okay. That was a big waste of time. Let's go on.
Your Honor, esteemed members of the jury, it's a very simple case. A very simple man, Roger, going to church every week, trying to take charge of his family, trying to set an example for his family. You know, this case reminds me of a story. September '71. My platoon was in the Kwanyuk province.
Paula, what do you have to say about this?
She did purchase the flirtatious teddy, is what it is called. She insisted that she wore a size 1X. I insisted she should have ordered a 3X.
This is a 1X. This is a 3X. Okay? Now, let me explain something to you. A 1X right over here, ma'am, with all due respect, I don't think you got into this since you were maybe a fetus. Now, if you take a teddy this size, and you try to take the teddy, and you put it into a bag like this, the teddy is the right size for this bag, and the teddy fits. No problem. If you like to do it a magic trick. Now, if you take a teddy this size, and you try to put it into a bag, what happens? The bag rips. Therefore, this teddy does not fit this bag. This bag does not fit that teddy.
Now, I'm an attorney, so I'm not going to stand here and lie to you. I'm going to stand over here and lie to you. Now, to protest what this woman has done to my client, I'm going to defend her without wearing any underwear myself.
And then she said, sir, no, your white fox coat is not a red fox. And I said, what do you mean? She said, well, she was unaware that the Christmas event was for the PETA Society.
The what society?
The PETA, the People for the Equitable Treatment of Animals.
Oh. Well, what happened? What happened when...
So she said that as soon as she walked in the door, they saw her with a real fox fur coat on, that they bam, just threw buckets of red ink on her to dye or something like that. Yes. So how dumb can you be? Wear a real fur coat to PETA Christmas event?
Yes. How dumb can you be?
Your Honor,
What?
She is guilty of acute stupidity.
Robin Witt recently bought a set of the Days of the Week underpants from Serena Winwillows. Hoping to spice up her love life, she soon discovered that Sunday, her favorite day for hanky-panky, was missing from the package. And we call this one, Your Honor, Never on Sunday.
Well, I went shopping for my boyfriend a few weeks ago. It was for his birthday, and I just came up with this really cute idea, for a surprise outfit. And since his birthday was on a Sunday, I was going to use the Sunday underpants, and well, I won't get into the rest of it, but...
Well, no, get into the rest of it. Tell us. I mean, and this was for fun. This was for entertainment.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
well, it was my wedding day, and I was waiting for Aaron to show up, and he never bothered to arrive. We had
on
500...
your actual wedding day?
On my actual wedding day, I had my wedding dress on.
The best maid or maid of honor?
Maid of honor was there. All of my bridesmaids.
Oh my goodness.
500 guests were waiting in the chapel.
500 guests in the chapel?
Yes. My flowers wilted. All the food went
Wait a minute.
bad.
I'm sorry. The flowers. Please read that back about the flowers.
The
I want to make sure. What? Wait a minute.
flowers-
Our stenographer will read that back. She's. Never mind. What did the flowers do?
They wilted.
They wilted.
They wilted,
Oh my
yes.
goodness. Well, what do you want from this scoundrel over here?
I don't think I could say that, but what I would at least like...
Yes? Order.
Can I get a Caesar salad?
No, you can't get a Caesar salad. Just do your typing.
This man over here doesn't want to get married. I see a guy who's got cold feet. I see a guy who doesn't want to be miserable the rest of his life. Let me tell you something, my friend. I am married. He is married. Roger Clinton's married. Do we look happy to you? Now, as far as these little laws of marriages that you talk about, I want to listen. We have right here. What did she say to you? There are no more nights out, no more friendships with ex-girlfriends, and no more freedom. Well, why don't we just look up and see what Mr. Webster has to say about marriage in the dictionary? Marriage. No more nights out, no more friendships with ex-girlfriends, and no more freedom. That's marriage.
I was with my third date with this guy, and I didn't want to have any alcohol in my drink because she knows that I'll lose my willpower if I have. Yes.
She knows that. She knows that.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
She knows that I'll lose my willpower if I have any alcohol, and so I didn't want any alcohol in my drink, and I told her to make my drink a virgin.
A virgin.
So, yeah, and so she deliberately spiked my drink.
Your friend.
Yes, spiking them all
What happened
along.
next?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, the next thing I know, I woke up the next morning and had a terrible headache and a hangover, and I felt horrible, and then the phone rings, and it's this guy, my new boyfriend, and he made this comment. He said, "Oh, you were great last night." And it fizzled
Well,
out
do you
from
think
there.
you think?
I don't know.